Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Tony back again to continue my series on the best streaming services of 2019. We're going to jump headfirst into fuboTV. This is a service that I didn't know a whole lot about. Some of you brought it up in the comments, and I'm glad you did because I looked into it and I'm really excited about this one. If you're unfamiliar with what this is, like I was, this is a sports-focused streaming service similar to maybe like a YouTube TV. Has a really reasonable price and a few packages. We'll cover those in a minute. If you watched my videos previously on this subject, you know I kind of cover the features, and then I'll go over some of the packages. We'll cover the interface, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end of the video. Let's see what fuboTV is all about. Hey guys, welcome to fuboTV. As you can see, these are the channels that you get for $44.99 a month. This is their base package. We'll cover the packages here in a minute in a little bit more in depth, but I just kind of wanted to give you a rundown real quick. As I said previously, this is a sports-heavy streaming service, and they advertise the fact that they have a ton of sports. They have live and on-demand sports and sports that aired previously. Now, the first thing that I want to point out, they do have 30 hours of cloud DVR space, and that is savable for an indefinite amount of time until you delete it. They do have the 3-day replay, or up to 3 days, and then they have 2 streams available in the base package, and you can add a third stream for $5.99 a month. All right, let's jump into the channels and packages here. As you can see, this is the entry-level package for $44.99 a month with 80+ channels. It does include quite a bit of sports channels as well as a good selection of your entertainment channels. The next package is the Fubo Extra, which is $49.99 a month for 100+ channels. Now, this doesn't really include a whole lot more. It does include the Cooking Channel, CNN International, BBC World News, and then some filler sports like Stadium Sports. Let's go down and take a look at the extras that you can add. So as I mentioned previously, the cloud DVR is included with 30 hours. However, you can upgrade for $9.99 a month, and this includes 500 hours. That is absolutely fantastic. That is a lot of DVR. Don't really know why you need that much, but hey, they have it for $9.99 a month if you really want to. The family share package is $5.99 a month, and that includes a third concurrent stream. There's a cycling package, international sports package, and then the Sports Plus package, which is 18 channels for $8.99 a month, and that is highlighted by NFL Red Zone, Pac-12 Networks, and Fox College Sports. That is a big deal to me, and that is something that I selected with my trial. There is the Adventure Plus package, which is 5 channels for $4.99 a month. The NBA League Pass, which seems to be a really common package available with streaming services. They do have Showtime available for $10.99 a month, which I think is a great deal. AMC Premiere, FX Plus, some Italian channels, Portuguese, and Latin channels. Let's go ahead and take a look at the interface on my Apple TV. One thing I want to point out before we dive too deep into the interface here, when I was setting this up on my Apple TV, it required me to enter my email address and my password. Now, it wasn't too bad on my Apple TV, but not every device is as easy as the Apple TV to log into. I wish a service like this and some other services would allow you to associate your device by typing in a code on your computer or your phone. I think it's a lot easier. I know it's a minor annoyance, but it's just one of those things that really kind of bothers me and rubs me the wrong way. Wasn't a great first impression. However, the app kind of made up for it. All right, taking a look here at the interface, we are on the home screen, and when you come up here, it comes up to live TV, and it's going to actually load a TV channel here. I'm going to avoid doing that because I don't want to get hit with a copyright infraction by accidentally displaying something I shouldn't be. You can view from there, and it looks like it keeps the same order as the guide, which I can't really figure out, but we'll cover that in a second. You can see some featured channels, news live and up next, and then sports live and up next, so you can kind of see what's coming. Valentine's Day movies. I'm sure that doesn't stay there always because it's not always Valentine's Day. Popular shows, popular movies, and then top leagues and tournaments. Let's jump up to the top menu here. And this is something that's really nice. I don't actually have to scroll to the top. I can just hit the menu back button on the Apple TV remote. The next tab over is sports. And I do actually like that you have to click it before you select it. It doesn't just automatically select it when you move over. I think that's kind of a nice feature so you don't accidentally select it. shows some featured and live and up next, and then you can sort by sports. Pretty basic, but it is decent that it breaks it out, as this is a sports heavy streaming service. Moving to the shows section, this is going to be very similar to how the sports are broken down, and it kind of shows you what's on right now, and then, it breaks it down by genres, what's popular, kind of real similar. All right, moving on to the next one. This is going to be real similar again. This is just movies. Won't spend a lot of time here, as it's really similar to the last two sections. Moving to the guide here. We can personalize it. I got it. Don't care. Here is the guide section. As you can see, it is vertically oriented, which, as you know, is not my favorite thing. Don't really understand it, but I guess here it is. So as we scroll down to the guide, you can see that it's a little bit laggy when you're sliding and trying to browse. Now, Apple TV is supposed to be one of the fastest streaming devices, so it's a little bit annoying that it does that. It does it when you scroll down as well. So that is something to consider if that is a concern for you. As we move over here, you can sort by networks. So this is kind of cool. So if you're just looking for a network and you don't want to search all the way through it, it is alphabetized and you can select a network from here. If we go back to the live TV guide, as you see at the bottom left side, you can browse by date specifically. And so I can look ahead to tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, etc. As it mentioned, you can view from up to 72 hours after it's been aired. There is no way to go back in the guide, which is kind of weird, and I don't really understand it. However, that is something that you can do in each of the tabs that we went over previously. We can move to the My Videos section, which is, of course, your DVR. And you can see it does have a nice little 0 of 30 hours use, so you know exactly how much time you have remaining. That's pretty much it for the interface. We'll do a quick recap, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the service as a whole. To give a quick recap of fuboTV, there are two packages available, one for $44.99 with 85 channels and one for $49.99 with 100 plus channels. Both of these packages include 30 hours of DVR that lasts indefinitely, as well as 2 concurrent streams. Both of these are available on almost every streaming device today. Some of the things that I really like about fuboTV starts with the package for $44.99. It includes quite a lot of sports. And I think that's a really good value for sports lovers, as some of the streaming services are a little bit light on what they include for sports. Now, I don't think the second package is nearly as good of a deal. I know it's only $5 more, but you really don't get anything extra, say for CNN International, BBC World News, and the Cooking Channel if you really are into cooking. Now, the next thing is, I think the DVR is a really solid setup. You get 30 hours and it lasts indefinitely until you delete it, which I think is a huge improvement over a lot of services that might have an unlimited DVR, but they don't last for very long. And that's an issue. If you come back or you go on vacation, you come back and some of your programs are missing, that's never really a fun thing. Now, one of the other really nice things about the DVR, it does allow you to watch programs that were up to 72 hours old. So if you miss something, you can go back and watch it. Now, I haven't spent a lot of time searching that because I don't do a lot of that viewing myself, so I don't really know how it works, but there is an option, as I showed in the interface, to browse recently aired programs and sports events. A couple other things that I really like about it is the variety of devices. I find that a lot of streaming services aren't available on every single streaming device, and as somebody who has multiple in his house, I feel like that's a problem. You know, I'm a big fan of Fire TV, and that's something that's not available with YouTube TV, and that's kind of a big drawback for me, for example. This having a wide range is excellent. I love that I can watch on my Apple TV, my Fire TV, my Roku, or any of my Android devices as well. And as I covered previously, NFL Red Zone is kind of a big deal for me during football season. Now, as much as I want to say, I really am sick of the NFL and whatnot, at the end of the day, there is probably a good chance that I'm going to sit down and watch some Red Zone if it is available for me. Now, for me, the package would be about $54. I think it came out to $53.98, which I think is a really good deal for the amount of content that you get and basically how polished this service is. Some of the things I don't like about fuboTV, starting with the vertical guide. I brought this up in one of my previous videos and it still holds true today. I just don't really understand the need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to TV guides on streaming services. Just go with what works. It's something that works. It's something that everyone is familiar with. I just haven't seen one that I like, and I just don't really understand it, I guess. The next thing is kind of tied to this, and that would be the ability to go back in the guide. I tried looking for more information on this. I really couldn't find anything to go back. I know, as I showed, there is a way to view recently aired programs, but that's not exactly the same thing. Now, if you search, you might be able to find it easier anyway. However, sometimes I just want to go back 30 minutes or an hour, and that is really nice to do. The next two things are kind of connected here, and it relates to the concurrent streams. As I said, there's only 2 concurrent streams available in the standard package, and it's $5.99 to add the third. This is kind of standard on some services, so I can't fault them too much, but for somebody that has a large family, multiple devices, this might be a problem that there isn't any more available. This is really similar to DirecTV Now, as they do the same thing, so I'm sure people are getting along with it just fine. However, it does bother me a little bit, but it's not something that I would necessarily use. The next thing is relating to having a large family, and that is there are no options for profiles. Again, this was something that I didn't really think about myself, but others have pointed out in comments of my previous videos, and I think it's a really good idea for people that have multiple family members that will use. Overall, I'm a really big fan of fuboTV. This is something that I'm really going to actually consider. Right now, I'm not going to switch to it, but my mother is looking to cut the cord, and this is something that I think will rank very highly with her, as it has local channels and then it has sports for anytime I am at her house. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, definitely hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, as I'll have regular updates. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day.